The city had always been a place of struggle and growth, with neighborhoods that had been built by families who worked hard for generations. But now, greed had begun to seep in. A powerful land developer, Charles Reynolds, had bought up large portions of the area, promising to transform it into luxury condos. He said it would bring prosperity to the city, but the truth was far more sinister. He was bulldozing the homes of families who had lived there for decades, pushing them out to line his own pockets. Clint Eastwood wasn't one to stand by and watch this happen. He had seen what unchecked greed could do to a community, and he was determined to make sure Reynolds paid for his actions. Clint drove into the neighborhood, his eyes scanning the rows of houses that were still standing. For now. The residents were packing up their belongings, looking defeated, knowing their homes were next. Clint walked through the street, his gaze hard and unyielding. At the end of the block, a massive bulldozer sat, ready to demolish the next house in line. Standing beside it was Charles Reynolds, chatting with his associates, all smiles as if they were doing something noble. But Clint wasn't fooled. He made his way toward Reynolds, his boots thudding heavily against the pavement. Reynolds noticed Clint approaching and greeted him with a sly grin. "What's this? Another concerned citizen?" he said, his tone condescending. "I've got big plans for this place, old man." Clint's expression never changed as he stopped just a few feet away from the developer. "You're going to destroy this neighborhood, aren't you?" Clint asked, his voice calm, but the weight of his words hung in the air. Reynolds chuckled, unfazed. "You don't get it, do you? This is progress. These people aren't going anywhere. This city needs a facelift, and I'm giving it to them." Clint stepped closer, his eyes narrowing. "Progress?" he said. "You're kicking people out of their homes, pushing them into the streets. You're taking what doesn't belong to you just so you can line your pockets." Reynolds' grin faltered for a split second, but he quickly regained his composure. "These people are nothing. They'll find new homes. They should be thanking me for this opportunity." Double asterisk. Clint's jaw tightened, his anger simmering just beneath the surface. "You think you can buy people's homes and destroy their lives with no consequences?" Clint's voice grew louder now, carrying the weight of truth in every word. "You don't get to take something that doesn't belong to you. Not on my watch." The developer tried to brush Clint off, but Clint wasn't done. "You think your money and your power make you untouchable, but I'm here to remind you of something you've forgotten. The people who live here matter, and if you think you can bulldoze their lives without anyone stopping you, you're wrong." Reynolds took a step back, his confidence beginning to crack as Clint's words hit home. "You're making a mistake," Reynolds said, trying to regain control of the situation. "You don't understand what I'm trying to do. This is for the future." Clint shook his head. "This isn't for the future, Reynolds. This is for your own damn future. You're just trying to get rich at the expense of others." Double asterisk. The people who lived in the neighborhood began to gather, stepping out of their homes to watch what was happening. Clint didn't back down. He stood firm, unyielding, a symbol of justice in the face of greed. Reynolds looked around, seeing the faces of those he was pushing out, and for the first time, he hesitated. Clint turned to the crowd and spoke to them. "This is your home," he said, his voice strong and reassuring. "You're not going anywhere, and as long as I'm here, neither is this developer." Reynolds tried to make one last move, but Clint was already ahead of him. The authorities, who had been alerted by Clint's actions, arrived just in time to put a stop to the demolition and freeze Reynolds' operations. As the police took Reynolds into custody, the crowd cheered. The people had fought back, and Clint Eastwood had ensured their victory. He didn't need recognition, and he didn't need a thank you. He just needed to make sure that the innocent weren't trampled by greed. And if you want to see more of Clint Eastwood's brand of justice, where no one gets away with destroying what doesn't belong to them, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon, because Clint always fights for what's right.